okay, now you let him back into the fight again. That's your mind back. Starting to make mistakes and switch off immediately.
go. Round.
I'm Todd Grisham, and you could not have chosen a better venue for this one. We're at the Lighthouse Theater. Alongside me is Johnny Nelson.
About time, too.
It's time now for our tale of the Alexander Usyk. Alexander Usyk, the former undisputed cruiserweight champion and heavyweight champion of the world, fighting out of Ukraine.
As soon as the bell goes, don't blink. That fight could be over.
And with that, let's go into the ring. And the Hall of Fame announcer himself, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, here is the Olympic gold medalist from Ukraine, an undisputed cruiserweight world champion, and a unified heavyweight champion of the world, Alexander Usyk.
And this one has all of those big fight feels you want from a prize fight. Here we go.
Todd, I'm going to stay here till the end of the night. Because if you're a fight fan like me, this is what I live for.
Under the bright light. And there's the bell for round one. Unlucky to miss with that jab. left hand. The crowd is dressed to impress here tonight, and the fighters promise to do the same as we cannot wait for this, our main event.
This is that place you want to say, I fought there, I've been there, and now we are here.
Those counter punches have to hurt. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Pretty close fight here in this round.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I got to respect both of them more than happy.
I don't think it's going to be a boxing match. This is going to be a fight. The jab can't find a home. Beautiful counter shot. One punch could change everything in this battle. A perfect counter shot. Pretty dominant round there. Let's see how they respond here in the next round.
Dominance without it.
Here we go for round two. After a really strong round, let's see if they can finish the job.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Nice counter shot. Punch, counter punch. When you're fighting a counterpuncher, the feint can be such a good weapon. Pretend you're going to punch, make the counterpuncher throw a punch, and then you counter them.
Todd, I understand what you're saying, but you've got to be on this. You've got to be on it. You've got to be a pro. You've got to think right. Concentrate.
That left hook won't score. Misses with the straight left. This fight a little bit closer than I think a lot of people thought.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Sometimes when you're fighting a counter fighter, the rounds can get a little boring. You get trigger shy because you know if you throw a punch, one is coming right back at you.
They have got great ring IQ. Counter punches are the best.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. After what we saw in that last round, it's pretty obvious who has the advantage here.
I seriously hope that...
The bell rings and we start the third. They've got all the momentum on their side after that last round. Let's see what they do here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Swing and a miss with that hook. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Starting to take some deep breaths now, but still fighting hard. He misses with that straight left. This has been a very competitive round as we reach the midway point.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
You can see the heavy breathing, but that's not slowing them down. The perfect counter lands. The only fear you have with this fighter is has he punched himself out? There's a counter shot. Well done with that counter shot. His stamina is off the charts. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. That was almost a 10-8 round. Here we go in round 4. Who's going to land the first big shot? Coming off that great round, let's see if they can build on momentum here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
You hear people talk about a boxer's chin. Do they have a good chin? Do they have a glass jaw? Those are questions that are being answered here tonight.
This is when you get in the ring feeling like you're King Kong because you know you've got a chin that is not going to get dented.
Is he going to punch himself out, though? Punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. We're at the halfway point of this round, and both of these fighters have had their moments. Still could go either way.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Through the straight left, but it won't score. I think it's safe to say one of these fighters certainly has a significant speed advantage. You can tell who it is.
Let me explain to you about a fast fighter that's got hand speed and footwork. They're relaxed. They're confident. They know they just have to quick burst, boom. In a split second, they've let 4 shots go. Their footwork has got them out of the way. And these guys are so relaxed. And that's why they can maintain this all the way through a fight.
Very close round with 10 seconds to go. This is the time that the trainer needs to come in and say something special. This fighter needs to turn the tables in this next round.
Every second.
There's the bell for round 5. Off their stools and ready to go. Let's hope this round is more competitive.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up, just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
His stamina is off the charts. They exchange punches. Nice defense on that jab. They block the left there. How do they use this fighter's aggression against them?
Sometimes when you have a fight, the best way to beat a fight is not give them what they want. Because they want to get you there. They want you to stand there toe-to-toe with them and have a tell. That's what they do in the gym every single day of the week. What you got to do is you got to frustrate them as they set their shots. Get out of the way. And they'll get so angry, so frustrated because they can't work.
He misses with that straight left. They both want the knockout. misses with that straight left. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Now you start wondering how much work these two... There's the bell to start round 6. Fatigue is setting in. Let's see how they handle it here in this round.
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
This fighter's sort of the death by 1,000 paper cuts approach. He'll hit you 1,000 times before you can land one.
You've got to ruffle their feathers, Todd. You cannot let them get comfortable, drag them, get them complaining to the referee, because once somebody with excellent foot speed and excellent power gets into the rhythm, the fight is over.
Nope, that hook won't score. Halfway through the round, and it's pretty much even Steven.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Catch and shoot. What heart, what desire, but at what cost? Punch caught him clean. Nice counter punch right up the middle. Not a lot of defense here at all. Nice counter shot. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. We'll see how much endurance these two fighters have. Here we go, it's round 7. That 1-minute break surely wasn't enough for him to completely recover.
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far, now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
Well, just a couple rounds left, Johnny. What's your assessment so far?
What a gift. What a gift it is to have a chin where you know you can walk through anything and everything. When you let those shots go and it's just bouncing off and they're walking you down, it's so demoralizing. It absolutely breaks your heart. What else can you do?
This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. What a round so far as we've reached the halfway point.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
He misses with that straight left. Good counter punch. This fighter is not interested in throwing one shot at a time. They throw combinations, and they throw them non-stop.
What you've got to do, Tony, is anticipation. You've got to wait. You just got...
Hold on a second, Johnny. Did you see that? Usyk. And it appears they weathered the storm. How? I'm not sure.
What course?
This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Cardio was put in for this fight, and they come down to that.
It's when you talk about...
And they're back at it again here in round 8. They really seemed to exhaust themselves last round. Let's see what they have left.
What are they doing that round? Are they trying to get an early out? That's a lot of energy burst. They did 6 rounds in one. They're going to be absolutely shattered.
One punch could change the entire complexion of this fight. Nice stop, but that won't score. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax. Because you know what you can do in the gym, you can do it in the fight. They've got to relax.
And he scores with the counter. Halfway through the round, and man, these... And as you can see here, a picture-perfect punch did the trick.
I've got to see that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Apparently, it's going to take more than that to keep this fighter down.
Some fighters, when this happens, this can be heartbreaking. Some fighters, it makes them angry. They want to get back into the mix again. I want to know, what sort of character are we looking at here?
And counter punching. So we enter the final 10 seconds here in a pretty dominant display. Pretty lopsided decision there, a unanimous one.
Unanimous. You know what? Smart that is. A total change of styles to make sure they got it. At every round in the bag, there was no argument, no discussion, no mistake. It was so obvious.
All right, I went over the rules. I want you to protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck. Do your business.
Okay, now, you let him back into the fight that round. That's his round. Get your mind back on the job.